On the 1st of July, NASA detected a mysterious object.
A nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens.
3I Atlas was an interstellar visitor.
Astronomers are stunned. The mysterious interstellar object, Oumuamua, the one that raced past Earth in 2017 and vanished into deep space, seems to have returned. Only this time, it's not alone. A new object, 3I Atlas, is showing strange green glows and bizarre internal structures that defy every rule of physics. Are these two cosmic visitors connected? Or are we witnessing something entirely new drifting into our solar system?
NASA telescope confirms 3I Atlas is far larger than expected, stunning the scientific community.
It is 1 mile across. It is a whopper. It is what is called a nation buster. It'll knock out just London or New York. It'll knock out North America.
Scientists continuously tracked the 3I Atlas journey using special instruments that measure how light bounces off objects, and this observation uncovered something very unusual. Between July and August, they noticed something wild. 3I Atlas was growing. A giant cloud of gas, dust, and plasma called a coma began spreading around it. That coma is now nearly half the size of the Sun, and it's getting larger every single day. Around October 29th, 3I Atlas will reach its closest point to the Sun, an event called perihelion. But already this mysterious visitor has stunned astronomers. Most comets are icy rocks that melt and form long tails when warmed by sunlight. 3I Atlas, however, seems to come from interstellar space, meaning it was born outside our solar system, perhaps in another star's neighborhood entirely. No one knows what shaped it or what it's truly made of. But one thing is certain, it's different. However, that was far from the end of the surprise. Photos from Namibia, which were taken during a lunar eclipse, showed that 3I Atlas was glowing bright green. But here's the twist. It doesn't contain the usual ingredients that make comets glow green, like carbon gas. So scientists have a question. Why is it shining? No one knows. A new study tried to make sense of all this. Researchers described 3I Atlas as possibly belonging to a new type of small planetary body, something that has never been seen before in our solar system. It might be a whole new category of object drifting through space, carrying secrets from far beyond the Sun. When scientists studied its light more closely, they found that 3I Atlas wasn't just glowing, it was changing in structure. The light it reflects swings between positive and negative polarization, a sign that layers of plasma may be forming around it, like an electric shell. This means the object is not calm or still. It's active, almost alive, constantly reacting to the Sun's energy as it gets closer. Each day, 3I Atlas looks a little bigger, a little brighter, and a lot more mysterious, challenging everything we thought we knew about comets and asteroids. No telescope on Earth has ever seen something quite like it. So as this strange red and green wanderer races toward the Sun, one question echoes through every observatory. What exactly is 3I Atlas? And most importantly, what is its connection with the Oumuamua? Another complex enigma. Back in 2017, astronomers in Hawaii spotted something strange streaking through our solar system. Trying to figure out what this strange thing was, they named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. It came from deep interstellar space, the vast emptiness between stars, and it moved in ways no known space rock ever had. At first, scientists thought it was just an asteroid, but that idea quickly fell apart. Asteroids are usually round or lumpy, while this object looked long and thin, almost like a cigar, or later, as data showed, more like a flat pancake. Stranger still, it wasn't orbiting the Sun like asteroids do. It seemed to be passing through, as if just visiting. Then came another twist: its speed. Oumuamua wasn't moving like a normal space rock. It sped up as it left the sun, as though something was pushing it forward. That's what comets do when heat turns their icy surfaces into gas, creating glowing tails that act like tiny rocket engines. But when astronomers looked for such a tail, they found nothing. Not even a light trail. It was completely clean. So, what was driving it? Some researchers thought invisible jets of gas were shooting from its surface, but no one could prove it. Others wondered if it wasn't natural at all. Maybe it was a probe from another civilization. That wild theory came from Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, who suggested Oumuamua could be an alien spacecraft powered by sunlight. He believed it might use a light sail, which is a thin sheet that catches solar rays to move through space. Not everyone agreed, though. Critics said an object that large couldn't be pushed by sunlight unless it was built from super light materials, something far beyond our current technology. But that didn't stop the mystery. Some even speculated it might have a cloaking system, hiding its true shape and making it look like a space rock. Later, other scientists proposed calmer theories. A group from Arizona State University suggested it could be a fragment of an icy planet, blasted away by a cosmic collision hundreds of millions of years ago. They believed it was made mostly of frozen nitrogen, like Pluto's surface, and that the sun's warmth caused the nitrogen to evaporate, gently pushing it along without leaving a visible tail. But when Harvard researchers reviewed the math, they said there wasn't enough nitrogen in the universe to form something that big. So that idea also fell apart. Now, Oumuamua is far from Earth, somewhere near Neptune's orbit, traveling at over 90,000 kilometers per hour, faster than any spacecraft we've ever built. But recently, scientists noticed something unsettling. Its path may be curving, as if turning back toward Earth. That has reignited fear and curiosity around the world. Why would it return? And does it have anything to do with the presence of the 3I Atlas? Let's uncover some of the details of this enigma and what connection it might have to the Oumuamua. The double-layer secret. Light exists everywhere. It is both a particle and a wave, a dual nature that has puzzled scientists for several generations. As a wave, light moves forward while carrying both an electric and a magnetic field. These two fields are positioned at right angles to each other and move together through space. Unpolarized light, such as sunlight, contains waves vibrating in every possible direction. When light passes through a polarizing filter, only waves oscillating in a single direction are allowed through. This process produces polarized light, which is more controlled and structured. Polarized sunglasses work on this same principle, removing unwanted glare by blocking scattered light from uneven angles. In astronomy, the polarization of light is a powerful diagnostic tool. When sunlight strikes an object in space, for instance, a comet, some of that light is reflected back toward Earth. The reflected light is not purely unpolarized. Ice crystals and dust grains on the object's surface alter it slightly, introducing a degree of polarization. By studying the amount and direction of this polarization, scientists gain valuable information about the object's surface properties and internal composition. In the case of Comet 3I Atlas, researchers measure how the degree of polarization changes with the phase angle, which is the angle between the Sun, the comet, and the observer. This relationship helps build a clearer picture of the comet's structure and material composition. Comets traveling closer to the Sun offer wider observational angles, allowing for more detailed polarization measurements. The reflected light from 3I Atlas shows clear variations and structures, which are characteristic of plasma behavior. Plasma, a state of matter made up of charged particles, often forms organized patterns and stable configurations of magnetic and electric fields. Within plasma, layers of opposing electrical charges, known as double layers, generate electric fields that accelerate particles and maintain energy flows. The polarization data from 3I Atlas indicate signs of such double-layer structures. This suggests that the comet's coma, its glowing cloud of dust and gas, may behave like a large-scale plasma system, complete with dynamic electric and magnetic activity. The changes in light polarization point to distinct differences in the electric fields surrounding the comet. Additionally, the comet contains water ice and carbon dioxide, both capable of forming intricate crystal patterns. Studies have shown that ice crystals can organize into highly ordered structures, sometimes preserving information from their environment. This crystalline behavior adds another layer of complexity to the comet's evolving structure. As 3I Atlas moves closer to the Sun, its form becomes brighter, larger, and more complex. Comparisons with other comets, such as Halley's and Hale-Bopp, reveal that Atlas does not follow typical polarization patterns. Its unusual data and structure suggest that it may be a unique celestial object, one that exhibits extraordinary electrical, magnetic, and crystalline characteristics unlike any comet previously observed. Now, let's talk about the unusual green glow emanating from the 3I Atlas. The Emerald Glow, Comet 3. I Atlas has been regarded as one of the most unusual objects ever observed, especially when studying its light polarization. The black curve representing 3I Atlas on the polarization chart is partly based on mathematical extrapolation, since only limited direct measurements exist. The first recorded data point shows a linear polarization of negative 2.7% at a 7-degree phase angle, meaning the reflected light is more aligned with the plane formed by the Sun, the observer, and the object. Interestingly, 3I Atlas undergoes a polarization inversion, shifting from negative to positive at around 17 degrees, a much lower angle than that of most comets, including the unusual comet Hale-Bopp, which transitions around 20 to 21 degrees. When compared with Borisov, another interstellar comet observed in 2019, Atlas again stands out. Its inversion occurs earlier, suggesting that it behaves differently from both Borisov and the broader category of known comets. Further comparisons were made with asteroids, centaurs, and trans-Neptunian objects. Polarization data for TNOS are limited, since they are extremely distant and can only be observed at narrow angles around 0 to 3 degrees. Based on existing data and mathematical projections, 3I Atlas appears to resemble trans-Neptunian objects more closely than comets or asteroids. This similarity suggests that 3I Atlas might have originated from the outer regions of another star system. Its elliptical path and extraordinary speed support this idea. The object travels at nearly 60 kilometers per second, expected to reach 68 kilometers per second at its closest approach to the Sun. No other known object has passed through the solar system at such velocity. However, speed is not the only unusual feature. The comet's polarization structure changes over time, revealing organized patterns rather than random scattering. Unlike ordinary comets, 3I Atlas developed an unusual sunward-facing tail, made of ice, dust, and gas, escaping toward the Sun instead of away from it. No other comet has displayed this feature. Later, it began forming a more typical tail, while maintaining its strange characteristics. Recent observations have shown the 3I Atlas glowing green. During the September 7th lunar eclipse, astronomers in the Kalahari Desert, Namibia, photographed the object. The images, though less detailed than those from major telescopes, clearly show its green glow. Comets commonly emit green light due to diatomic carbon, which fluoresces at 518 nanometers when excited by sunlight. This wavelength falls within the visible spectrum of 350 to 750 nanometers. However, earlier data from July and August showed that 3I Atlas contained very little carbon. If that remains true, its green color must arise from another unknown chemical process, possibly involving carbon dioxide or an unusual mixture of gases and dust. This unexplained glow adds yet another mystery to a growing list of oddities surrounding 3I Atlas. But that is not the last of the oddities that this interstellar traveler has shown. Let's now explore some more. Tracking a cosmic enigma. Recent findings show that 3I Atlas continues to behave in unexpected ways. Along with its distinct green glow that has shocked scientists, the object has also been observed to be expanding and developing increasingly complex internal structures as it approaches the Sun. These formations appear within its dusty plasma coma, indicating heightened activity and energy interaction as it moves deeper into the inner solar system. Data from the Skylive, an orbital tracking platform, provides a clear overview of its current position and path. The comet's orbit, shown in green on trajectory models, passes through the asteroid belt, an area extending about 30 degrees above the solar system's ecliptic plane. As of September 11th, 3I Atlas was seen traveling through this region at high velocity. The object will soon cross back through the ecliptic plane and descend below it later in the year. Based on projections, its closest approach to Mars occurs on October 3rd, coming within roughly 0.2 to 0.3 astronomical units. A reconnaissance probe orbiting Mars may capture high-resolution images during this period, providing crucial insight into the size of the object's nucleus, one of the biggest remaining mysteries about 3I Atlas. Currently, the actual size of the nucleus remains uncertain. Estimates vary widely due to uncertainty in its albedo, the amount of sunlight reflected by its surface. If albedo assumptions are inaccurate, the resulting size calculations are unreliable. Current estimates range from 0.2 kilometers to as large as 50 kilometers in diameter, highlighting the need for direct observation. As October progresses, the comet will move into an increasingly dynamic region of the solar system. Around October 21st, it will reach superior conjunction, positioning itself on the opposite side of the Sun relative to Earth. During this period, it will pass relatively close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. Because of its enormous speed, nearly 68 kilometers per second at perihelion, and potentially large size, 3I Atlas is being monitored carefully. A collision with any planet would be catastrophic, producing energy far beyond that of typical asteroid impacts. Fortunately, Earth's orbit places it safely on the opposite side of the Sun during this phase, minimizing risk. By late October, the comet will make its closest approach to the Sun, and researchers expect this to trigger increased solar activity. The interaction between the Sun's magnetic field and the comet's dense cloud of plasma, dust, and gas could intensify solar flares, possibly producing strong X-class eruptions during October and November. By March of the following year, 3I Atlas is predicted to move near Jupiter, continuing its rapid journey through the solar system. Its ongoing changes, from color shifts and plasma activity to extreme velocity, make it one of the most fascinating and unpredictable interstellar objects ever recorded. As 3I Atlas races toward Jupiter, its strange behavior echoes memories of the Oumuamua. Could these two interstellar travelers be linked by more than coincidence? A connection between two interstellar objects. There is a real possibility that Oumuamua and 3I Atlas share more than just being visitors from interstellar space. Both have displayed puzzling traits, which has led some, like Avi Loeb, to propose that they might actually be artificial artifacts from some unknown civilization. But before jumping to that conclusion, it's wise to look at what science does know, and where the evidence supports or undermines such a link. Oumuamua was the first confirmed interstellar object to pass through our solar system, discovered in 2017. Its motion, shape, and behavior immediately challenged expectations. It did not show a typical comet tail, but it did exhibit non-gravitational acceleration, meaning parts of its motion couldn't be explained by gravity alone. That led some to theorize it could be a probe or solar sail. Scientific consensus ultimately leaned away from that, favoring explanations that placed it among exotic but natural bodies, possibly fragments of outer planet ices or objects ejected from other star systems. Now comes 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar visitor. Discovered in July 2025 by the Atlas Survey System. Junctures of observation are already raising eyebrows. Unlike Oumuamua, Atlas exhibits comet-like activity. It's surrounded by a coma of gas and dust, and it's clearly outgassing volatile compounds. This sets it apart from Oumuamua's dry appearance. Yet, Atlas also displays several strange features. Its orbit is highly hyperbolic, meaning it is passing through with excess velocity, not bound to the Sun. Its eccentricity is measured at around 6.2, well beyond the threshold for simple solar system objects. Another peculiarity is the chemical composition detected so far. Observations from telescopes, like the James Webb, point to a coma rich in carbon dioxide and water ice, but with unusually high CO2 relative to H2O. An 8-to-1 ratio has been suggested, far exceeding what is typical in known comets. This hints that Atlas might have formed in a very different environment from ours. Despite these oddities, most astronomers remain cautious about assigning an artificial origin. NASA has publicly rejected claims that Atlas is alien technology, citing lack of evidence for propulsion systems, signals, or clear non-natural behavior. Still, the possibility of a connection remains intriguing. If Oumuamua and Atlas were products of similar astrophysical processes in other star systems, perhaps both ejected by gravitational interactions or collisions in distant planetary systems, then they might share structural or compositional traits. A deep comparison could reveal telltale signatures, matching isotopic abundances, rare molecular compounds, or internal structure anomalies. To settle any real link, scientists will need high-resolution data of Atlas's nucleus, careful spectroscopy of its gases and dust, and perhaps a mission to intercept or sample these interstellar visitors. A planned mission concept already envisions sending a spacecraft to intercept Atlas. Could these mysterious visitors be messages from beyond, or simply cosmic coincidences waiting to be explained? And Atlas continues its journey past Jupiter. What other secrets might the universe be preparing to reveal? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.